As you say.
A new world order.
New world order.
A new world order.
The new world order.
A new world order.
A new world order.
The new world order.
New world order. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
Yo. What's up, yo? It's your boy Drew. Checking out that rare Sunday night edition of Drew World Order Live. I'm looking like Assassin's Creed here tonight or something, man. Never played it, but I've seen the ads. Good to see you guys here. Sunday night's traditionally been a slower night for me in the past doing live streams, so maybe you're watching this Monday morning at work or something. So make sure, even if you are here now or later, hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment if you're watching it later. Get that algo bumping for me. Well, if you guys didn't know, this is our boy David Hogg. He was a big deal maybe, like 6-7 years ago. We'll get into his little backstory. Some of you may not remember, and there may be some people that are newer kind of into the game that don't know the whole history of this dude. And I just think it's pretty obvious on to look at it from an external perspective, not being invested in Republican or Democrat, to see that Democrats are off the rails. It's completely considered like uncool to be a Democrat, and they need to like figure something out and completely like rebrand to figure something out. They have 4 years now to get their stuff together. Even if it's a scripted reality, I mean, it's just not even conceivable anymore that somebody could rise through the ranks and be considered a legitimate contender to some type of the Republicans. The whole counterculture was Republican, and it slowly, took over. Maybe about I would say definitely the first Trump term, but then by the end of that, I think the whole culture had flipped. Then they presented you like a storyline of like a steal, and then four more years of like progressive nonsense increasing, which brought even more people to the right. So I'm talking about maybe not us people on this channel or deep heavy conspiratards, but I'm talking about people like just normies at your work or whatever. They're, you go through the public indoctrination center, the college, the university, you're gonna come out liberal leaning probably by design, but once you hit the real world, you realize you're unable to debate your positions or back any of them up versus even like a low level person that's on the Republican side. Good to see you guys here, man. I see Uki, Capricorni, Brody, C. Griffin, Crosshatch, Smith. Good to see you. I saw Big Drink Tea earlier. Ish, Rochelo, Spurgeon, as always. Our resident chat Spurg is here. This is our boy here, David Hogg. When he rose to fame was for being considered a crisis actor. So that would be a person that's not involved with the false flag, I guess, and is just put on TV to be the actor-based reality face of it. We've seen other ones, Robbie Parker, Harley Guy. Maybe I can pull up some of the classics after I get through some of the other ones. Some of the stuff I want to get through about this guy. And then after that, maybe I'll talk about some of my personal life stuff. I talked about it a little bit on the one of the last EBT streams. He did like 5 in a row or something. He was on like a streaming bender. Haven't seen the guy since. Where you at, E? Where you at, E? Roscoe, good to see you. All right, so let's go, man. David Hogg, bro. You guys know who he is. I'm sure everyone here. If you're watching this later, though, or you don't know who this guy is. He just became the vice chair of the DNC. So the DNC is trying to implement some change and get younger. I don't think the issue really is youth versus geriatric, though, and this has been part of my predictions for a long time. For you longtime riders of this channel, I've said after this crop of octogenarians, I'm going to take that word from Jason of Archaics. After this crop of them, I think you're going to see them go much younger, and I've cited this guy specifically, and Greta Thunberg type people will be the next generation of people. As it goes more Hollywood, they need kind of more glamorous, younger people for these long-term storylines and scripts that are going to play out. So anyway, this is the guy that we're talking about, and we'll get into his origins here. So, but he's in hot water right now. Oh, there's EBT. What's up, my guy? He's in hot water right now because what he did is, as soon as he got elected, he texted the entire DNC donor roll with a fundraising message for his personal NGO. And it's called, what is it called? Leaders We Deserve is what it's called. So he's not raising money for the DNC. He's raising money for himself, and he gets a salary from that, which was, $175,000, it says here. And now there's nothing illegal about this or anything, but the DNC just put you in there, and it's kind of a bad look. The DNC wants you to be raising money for the DNC, not just for yourself to pay your own self. So he's already begun the grift here. Hold on, man. My head's getting hot. I gotta take this thing off, bro. Can't be no Assassin's Creed, man. So it says there's DNC insiders who are already slinging mud at the new party vice chair. Barely 2 weeks in, he's leveraging his contact list to do email blast messages soliciting donations to his political action committee, which he draws more than $100,000 a year. So that's $175,000, it says on the other one. David Hogg here. I was just elected DNC vice chair. This is a huge win for our movement to make the Democratic Party more reflective of our base, youthful, energetic, and ready to win. The solicitation texts include a link to Hogg's Leaders We Deserve. David Hogg, talk about living up to your name. A trough of DNC dollars, all for him. He doesn't seem to give an oink. The top Democrat grumbled to the Post. Hogg co-founded Leaders We Deserve in August 2023 with the stated goal of electrifying young progressives to Congress and state legislatures across the country. It also provided him a six-figure income right out of college. I'm pretty sure this dude went to Harvard, but it wasn't on merit alone. It's more like because he's an influencer, and they brought him in to Harvard, even though he didn't have the SAT required, or he's in the bottom, he was in the bottom maybe 5% of people there for the SAT or ACT, whatever it is that they used to get in there. It says it's not officially against the rules, personal PAC fundraising, but instead of fundraising for the DNC, but he's rubbed some of the party brass the wrong way. It's especially important for all Democratic national officials to focus on raising support for the party and not using their position to raise money for themselves or their political PACs. It's a stunning lack of judgment that is concerning to many people. The 24-year-old came to public prominence as a survivor of the February 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, which left 17 people dead. How many? 17. Bam. What's the 17th letter of the alphabet? Hogg's appointment to the party's vice chair at just 24 makes him arguably the most powerful Zoomer in the United States. But at least some members of the party were alarmed by his lack of experience and a long history of social media posts and supporting far-left positions like defund the police and abolishing the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. Blah, blah, blah. So before this guy got famous at his February 2018 shoot 'em up at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, before that, David Hogg, he had a taste of viral fame on YouTube in 2017, December 2017. So about 3 months before. Wait, what happened to what happened to the other one, the girl with the shaved head? They're all okay. There was this David Hogg guy. There was like a black girl. There was the shaved head girl. There was a few of them, and all the other ones are like political activists. But this guy's like rose through the ranks way faster than them. So this guy, yeah, he got in. He was involved with a viral video. So this is no different than the Trump shooter. Remember the guy at the Trump assassination, and he was in like some BlackRock commercial, and then there was, you see that in all these things, like they're somehow have some other like media type thing to their name once they hit the scene. And that would go with the theme of my channel and my belief that it's an actor-based reality. The world's a stage, and everything's being presented to you is actors on a world stage designed to manufacture consent to the way they want to the direction they want to socially engineer society into. It's basically WWE played out over a long period of time. That's why I think they need younger actors to bring the soap opera forward for the next 30-40 years. You've already grown up with this guy now for 8 years, whatever it is. This is the video of his first, before he was involved in the school shooting, his first viral video. This is from his school at the time. I mean, if you believe this could be backdated and uploaded later. This is in 2017, and at the time this was written, the video had 680,000 views on YouTube. So I'm not sure if this is the original one that I'm going to play, but I would assume it got to 1 million views fairly quickly, plus then re-uploads and everything else of the same video. Now, man, I've been having great luck. I've been having great luck here recently using Yahoo instead of Google or any of these other ones. And I like, let me close this out real quick. I like how Yahoo puts them in the grid, and they're videos that are even harder to find when you search through even YouTube or Google. Yahoo's been a throwback to me, man. It's been working pretty good for me. And I like how I can just keep them all here rather than open them each in their own tab. I just can pick and choose right from this grid.
Now only on 2, it's a confrontation that's making waves. A Redondo Beach lifeguard and a teenage boogie boarder get in a heated argument, and it's all caught on video. CBS 2's Andrea Fujii is live in Redondo Beach. Andrea
Fugazi.
Well, Pat, this argument was all about a boogie board that was placed on top of a trash can just like this. It was all caught on video, and tonight that lifeguard is under review.
And this is his viral video well before the Parkland shoot 'em up. Can we say this on here? Do I got to say bang bang? I just hate talking in code like that. At least 3 months beforehand.
Don't take this the wrong way, but can you go away?
David Hogg says his 17-year-old friend put his boogie board on this beach trash can. And when a lifeguard asked him to move it, he did. But then the situation took a turn.
He said, I didn't know it was a crime to put your board on the trash can, because he just didn't want it to get sandy.
That's when David says the lifeguard approached, and he started recording.
We clear?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not your parents.
No, you're not, so why don't you off?
I don't know you.
I don't
You've
either.
never been down here. So you're going to come down here and lip me.
David posted the video on YouTube, and in just a couple of days has gone
Don't give me no lip, boy.
viral.
Build boogie boards better.
We felt threatened. We felt, we're just worried. And
Threatened.
he seemed unpredictable.
That's one of the words that I absolutely hate. Did he say threatened, not threatened? I got to hear that again. There's a few when people say like supposedly with a V in there, threatened. Little shit like that really aggravates me. I gotta hear that again.
And he seemed unpredictable.
Hold on.
Worried, felt just worried. And
You're gonna come down here and lip me.
David posted the video on YouTube, and in just a couple of days has gone viral.
we felt threatened. We felt
Threatened. Can't handle it.
we're just worried, and he seemed unpredictable.
A captain with LA County Fire who oversees Redondo Beach Lifeguard says the incident is being reviewed by Internal Affairs. We show the video to beachgoers who had mixed opinions.
Stepped over the line when he got in the kid's face and he looked him right in the eye.
Now, was that Jerry DeCamp? is that When the Buildings Cried, aka Subphotonic? Is that him? And yeah, I see Tommy in the chat. Yeah, this is before the whole shooting, so at least 3 months beforehand.
Right.
And it's viral.
Right in the eye.
Like, it's not just some obscure video. It had approaching 1 million views 3 months beforehand.
Come on, you're talking to a teenage boy who's swearing at you, who's being disrespectful.
But you know what? Fine.
But you know everything. So I'm gonna let you go and find a little special snowflake world.
The lifeguard then
That's the old man in red. Hating on him. Orange man bad.
asked the boy to never come back.
Checkerboard dress, bam.
And the LA County Fire captain tells me this lifeguard is a veteran with the department, and it is being reviewed to see if retraining or discipline is warranted.
Yeah, thank you. True Metal Jake says, especially. Yeah, that's another one. It says just those tiny ones. You're just like a lazy talker or something. It's just dumb, like trailer trash lingo or something. Like, learn how to talk, motherfucker. I bet that his handlers have trained him to not do that anymore. Let's go back to my Yahoo grid here. I don't have to hop all around. So, do I have the Parkland shooting thing up here? Sure you guys are all familiar with it. The shooter was what's his name again? Yeah, Nicholas Cruz. That's the shooter right there. Whoops, my face is in the way. Hold on. That guy there is the shooter. 17 dead and 17 injured is the storyline. I mean, who knows, right? It's in Broward County, and the results of this was the resignation of, you remember that guy, Sheriff Israel? He was the sheriff during the Extension shooting and all that. His name's literally Sheriff Israel. And because of this, because that shooter Cruz had like red flag calls beforehand online, and they said that Sheriff Israel didn't take it seriously enough or whatever. He was, I don't know if he was fired or kind of like forced to resign or whatever, and they put in a new guy, a black guy, I forget his name. And I think DeSantis straight fired the guy, actually, if I remember right. And because of this incident, the guy was like 18 years old. The shooter was 18. And then after this was one of the catalysts, and they raised the limit to buy firearms in Florida to 21 years old. The reason I had that one up, though, let me go back there. Hold on. I got off it. Is if you look at the time of day, they say this happened 7 years ago. This happened. Excuse me. 2:21 p.m. to 2:27 p.m. So it's before shortly before the release of the school. And one of the things that people found so suspicious about our boy here, Mr. Hogg, was this video, which is, it's hard to find this video. But when you go on Yahoo and type it up, it's right in the grid here. In this recording, he claims that the school is under an active shooter at the time, and that David Hogg, because he works for the school paper, he was hiding in a closet with other kids. And the teacher said, well, you should interview some kids and get some live reactions. Fuck it, there's a guy here blasting everyone, but let's shoot some videos here. That's literally the official fiction of it, the kayfabe story. And if you listen to the time, the reason I showed the time on the other one, 2:21 to 2:27, I believe when you hear this guy talk in the video, he says it's sometime around 9 9 o'clock or 9 a.m. or something, he says.
So
once my phone hits 30, I'm done recording.
So what's your message?
I really don't think there's anything new to say, but there shouldn't have to be, because if you looked around this closet and saw everyone just hiding together, you would know that this shouldn't be happening anymore, and that it doesn't deserve to happen to anyone, and that no amount of money should make it more easily accessible to get guns.
Now, does this look like the panic-stricken state of a teenager that's literally in the middle of an active live shooter at the time? Even if you don't hear the shots, like, you don't really know what's going on. Even as an adult, I think you'd be pretty freaked out, and this person's pretty cool, calm, and collected. A teenage girl, nonetheless.
And that's that. That was more well articulated in my head.
You want to say anything else?
No. Can you just off screen? I just don't want my face.
Yeah, we'll point it at the ground. This is Alex's view. This recording was taken at 9:32, February 14th, 2018. Alex, are you okay with me recording this?
Yes, I am okay with you.
9:32, he says. I guess he doesn't say a.m. So your other action is that way later in the night, they went back there and hid in the closet and tried to recreate the scene and give how they felt live while it happened or something.
Recording this.
Okay.
I personally have rallied for, gun rights and less control, not necessarily less control, but this experience has definitely changed my viewpoints. I wanted to be a junior NRA member. I wanted to learn how to hunt. I was always fascinated by guns as a young girl, but this experience was so traumatizing to the point where now I can't even fathom the idea of a gun in my house or on my bodice. I did have plans for my 18th birthday to go to Nexus gun range and learn how to shoot, but at this point, I don't even want to be behind a gun.
I loved guns so much until the shooter came in the building 5 minutes ago. And I was planning on my 18th birthday to go to the gun range. But now, I'm hiding in the closet scared, doing a live interview with David Hogg, the future DNC vice chair.
I don't want to be the person behind a bullet because I don't want to be the person to point a bullet at someone. And to have the bullet pointed at me, my school, my classmates, my teachers, my mentors, it's definitely eye-opening to the fact that we need more gun control in our country, because for this to happen and for people to be so neutralized to it. I even texted my sisters, shooting at my school, I am safe. They both responded with, OMG, LOL, you're funny. Now that's a problem in society, and it's a bigger problem in America, and it needs to be fixed. And I believe the most definite way to fix it is by changing our laws when it comes to gun ownership.
So live while it's happening, we need to change the laws. Make it harder for anyone to own a gun. Just Teasing OK says, I was a teacher during shooting lockdown. My students had a full spectrum of reactions: talkative, excited, numb, rocking, and quiet, crying. I don't know. Can we believe that? It's just a random person on the internet. I do believe people would have a wide variety of actions, but to immediately call for gun control while you're supposedly, the official fiction of that story, even though he says 9:30, is that they're in the closet live while it's happening. The teacher says, try to get some footage right now for the school newspaper or whatever, channel, whatever it is. David Hogg has for years. So then after that, he started March for Our Lives, which is, kind of gun control activists. But here's another one where he was caught. See on this Yahoo, you can find all this stuff. I had this up on X for later because I didn't think I'd even be able to find this one. This is where he's caught rehearsing his lines. Yeah, the unmitigated mind says, quote, what the girl was saying. This happens so often. I don't want to be able to defend myself when it inevitably happens again. Exactly, right? I remember this was the one when it was over. Trump came out and said, hey, we need to start arming teachers and coaches. And then people were crying about that. But there was an armed police presence at the school who didn't do anything. That guy ended up retiring, and he got a criminal trial out of it. And they found him not guilty because he was able to create a reasonable doubt that he believed the shooting was happening outside. And that's why he didn't go inside. So there was actually an armed active duty police member at the school at the time.
Because we had a fire alarm earlier that day, and that was a drill. So we thought this was a drill too, just another one. Because we have a lot of fire alarms, a lot of fire drills at the school. After we heard the first gunshot, we initially thought it was a drill. Actually, that was a bad choice.
It's okay, you're fine.
Actually, that was a bad choice because the janitor, sorry.
It's okay, you're fine, David, you're fine.
Honestly, when I was going out, I was kind of in, I was in, hold on.
It's okay.
When I was going out, I was in shock.
Yeah, saying I don't know how to put this in perspective. It's okay.
So most of my friends that made it out, one of them went into a bathroom in the same, I believe in the same hallway as the shooter. Well, hold on.
It's okay.
One of them went into the same bathroom, I believe, as the hallway shooter. He was in there at the same time, and he was in the bathroom, and he didn't know if he was going to live.
And then they say, yo, it's crazy for you to think that this guy could possibly be some kind of actor. And there's much more. We're going to get into it. I did want to stop here and acknowledge, where did it go? King Yeti. David Hogg is Adam Lanza. Can't nothing change my mind. Get right to that one. Come back to this in a second. David Hogg, Adam Lanza. I know you guys seen this meme. Now, Adam Lanza, he was the shooter of the totally real Sandy Hook bang bang, right? And it's definitely real because I don't have $1 billion to pay their family. We know that was a legitimate, totally real thing. Not only that, not only with this, they do look similar to me, man. Much more when you get into it. But, hold on, where did my... But what about this? Do you remember this? Remember our boy, No Balls, Tim Walz? Remember when he said this?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA. Yeah, I sat
What?
in that
What the fuck did you just say, bro?
office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA.
I become friends with school shooters, he said. Bam. Got him. Bam. Freudian slips. Let's go back to... I hate that fucking guy, Tim Walz. He's the biggest dipshit on planet Earth, I swear. If you're wondering whether or not David Hogg is, if it's possible that he is a... Now, this reached mainstream, like literally, like the mainstream narratives of this guy talk about conspiracy theorists online call him a crisis actor, and that brought the term crisis actor kind of into the mainstream zeitgeist. If you want to know whether or not he is...
There are already people online saying everybody is a crisis actor, all these kids aren't real, this didn't happen, this is for gun control. What do you have to say to those people?
To those people, I say, have you ever been in this situation? I'm not lying.
Well, there we go, bro. He says he's not lying, so it's totally real. That's all you need to know. Did I miss a super chat? Yeah, I did. Provo. EBT after party, he said. Appreciate the $1.99, Provo. Now, Provo has a wrench. You can feel free to spam your own link, bro. I know you're taking your channel under construction. Provo likes to come and go, reinvent himself. He's kind of like Madonna. He's like the Mormon Madonna. He likes to kind of reinvent himself. I think he's under construction for the time being, but make sure you go subscribe to Provo. Please feel free to drop your link in the chat, Provo. David Hogg said, yeah, he's not an actor. So. I don't know what this one is. Let me play this one real quick, and then we will play just a couple more before I move on. Okay, this is the one we just watched of the student in the closet. There's been, anytime there's like gun violence in communities and stuff, they march this guy out on TV. He raises his little skinny, scrawny arm. Here's another one where he says he was at home during the shootings. Why does this say 16 years ago? So this was I talked about her earlier, Emma Gonzalez. That was the bald-headed girl, and she was doing a lot of gun rallies.
On the day of the shooting, I got my camera and got on my bike and rode as fast as I could 3 miles from my house to the school to get as much video and get on as many interviews as I could, because I knew that this could not be another mass shooting.
So he says he was at home and then rode his bike up there. TBE says, what am I, chalk liver, nasty word? You got the wrench, bro. You guys with your wrench, bro. Do not hesitate to spam your own links. You guys are my boys, man. Feel free to spam them links. Make sure you subscribe. Toilet Bowl Earth, he did take a break. He's back. Make sure you subscribe. And you never know what you're going to get on Toilet Bowl Earth streams. It's usually pretty wild, and then he takes them down. So if you're not there live, you just got to be there. It's crazy. It's crazy, fam. Asmund Gold said it's crazy, dog. His continuous message throughout his career when he comes out and talks is he says, hey, we don't want to take your guns.
People need to realize that this is nothing new. This has been happening in communities across America. This happened once in Parkland, but this is an everyday thing for many students, especially in poor areas, that politicians need to focus on. Many of these people that are here, they're in gerrymandered districts so that their voices can't be heard as much and politicians can suppress them. It is time to change that. The United States Census is going to come out, and that is when states are going to redistrict. We need to make sure that everybody's voice, regardless of the color of their skin, their ethnicity, where they come from, or their religion, or their creed or class, it doesn't matter. We are all Americans. Our voices are all equal. But when these districts are drawn so that we can discriminate against poor communities, minority communities, and communities of different ethnicities, so we can continue.
He was going to say blacks, and he caught himself.
Continue to continue the legacy of racial discrimination in this country. That is something that is not American. It is something that is absolutely corrupt and something that we have to change. I think we need to come together as Americans, and I think a lot of people that are out there that are fearing what we're saying right now think that we're going to try taking their guns. We're not. The Never Gun movement and the March for Our Lives is not trying to take your guns. We're trying to take back our lives, and because just as much as you have a right to own a weapon, we have the right to liberty, we have the right to peace, and we have the right to live.
Unfortunately, I lost.
Yeah, here's the other one I saw a lot was this black girl who she's still some kind of an activist too. I don't know what Alaya, is that how you say it?
2 people in my class and 6 were hit. I was on the wrong side of the class, and no student should have to cover themselves with a deceased classmate to survive. But I was that.
Yo, I'll shield myself with that white boy. I took the fat white boy as my human shield.
Student. We can't only focus on school shootings, though. Urban communities and low-income communities have always been hit with gun violence forever. I lost my uncle due.
You know what they say about them door knocker earrings? It's the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. I didn't make it up. I'm just saying that's what they say.
To gun violence in Brooklyn 15 years ago, and nothing has changed. Columbine happened. Nothing's changed.
Greg Strasser in the chat says, the guy standing behind him, I was wondering who that is, says he's a Jew and part of the L.A. County Board of Supervisors.
Sandy Hook happened. Nothing's changed. Parkland happened. Nothing's changed. We have to do something. This cannot happen again. And nothing's.
We don't want to take your guns, but something has changed. What would that something be?
Happening. It's been 36 days and nothing's happened. We have to move fast.
Safe places are no.
Did this lady finally die? I can't remember if she died or not, or she's still in the damn Congress.
Longer safe places. And so we have...
She's got to be dead, right? I feel like I vaguely remember her dying, but I don't know if I'm tripping or not. She's in my, like, channel's header when you go to my page, like the banner.
Students here saying, if you can't do it, we're going to do it, but we're not going to tolerate it anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, this can be done. We can pass a bill. We can get these weapons.
Pass a bill that what?
The supply of them diminished. We can get the big clips stopped. We can get the bump stocks stopped. And we can get assault weapons stopped.
That's how it starts. It's incrementalism. So it starts with just we don't want to take your weapons. We just want to take these weapons of war, which is just subjective, right? And you could call any weapon a weapon of war. You could call a machete or something eventually a weapon of war. Just we'll start at one, and how every single one of them uses an AR-15. Isn't that suspicious in and of itself? That not one kid goes into school with something else. It's such a tragedy, but yet they let a song like that, Pumped Up Kicks, just be played on the radio, like, and the glorification of it that does come. If any of them are legitimate, the glorification that comes from the promotion of it on the internet, or not just the internet, the media, I should say. And just like this was a few days ago here, I don't know if you guys saw this. Transgender Indiana student planned Parkland Part 2 high school shooting docs. Now that transgender people have a big problem with Valentine's Day, it's like a cis holiday, so they want to like do away with it, or just they don't like it, I guess. But this was just the other day on the anniversary of that Parkland High, the Valentine's Day massacre. 18-year-old Trinity Shockley. They always have like the name, like Christ, Christina. Here's the Trinity is the name. There's always like some mockery of God in their name. Shout out to Jurassic liars. Oh, you can't even read this article, can you? No, but it basically what I read about this article, I'm not going to pull it back up, but it was like this person was going to create Parkland Part 2, and they were bragging about it, and they were bragging about like the notoriety that they would gain from doing something like this. So part of it is the media glorification of it, 24-hour news cycle that constantly needs something, right? Go back here to my little grid. I really like this grid. I know I keep hyping it up, but the last one you saw, David Hogg straight up out of his own mouth, he says, "No, we are not trying to take your guns." That was 6 years ago. Then only 3 years ago, here he is, David Hogg urges President Biden to take action on gun control.
Frankly, President Biden needs to do something, because there are certain things that he's leaving on the table that he can do right now, like creating a national office of gun violence prevention and a national director of gun violence prevention, and creating a comprehensive plan to dramatically reduce gun deaths before the State of the Union that he can do right now, regardless of the filibuster and regardless of what's going on in the Senate. I'm disappointed, and frankly, if I could say one thing to the president, it's that we need you to go out and act right now before the next Parkland happens, because there are things that you can do right now to help prevent it that you have not done. We need you to make good on your promises, because kids are dying.
So he's not trying to take your guns, but Biden, you better do something. Only a couple years later. He did get in a famous feud with Laura Ingraham. I just like this video, just this little thumbnail of him here. I don't even got to play the video, but I feel like this is one of those guys, kind of like Klaus Schwab, and there's like the black female Democrat that dresses like Klaus Schwab now, and this guy. I feel like eventually everything that Trump's leading up to will require like fall guys and people to go down, and if it's like a movie and you look at the people that are acting like villains in a movie, I mean, that'd be a pretty good guess of where to start for who's going down. There was another, what do you call it? Confrontation he had, I remember, with Marjorie Taylor Greene shortly after it happened, and that's like the crazy QAnon lady. She hunted him down, talked shit to him.
Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids to get as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance? Look, I'm an American citizen. I'm a gun owner. And the money behind it and the kids to try to take away my Second Amendment rights. You don't have anything to say for yourself? You know, if school zones were protected with security guards with guns, there would be no mass shootings at schools.
Again, that's she's saying is a false statement because there was an armed, active, on-duty police guard at that place. Marjorie Stone Douglas High School or whatever it's called.
You know that? The best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun.
911, what's your emergency? Please help. Someone at the high school. A shooter. Okay, is anybody injured?
Excuse me.
Please help, please. Okay, we're already starting the paramedics.
I say we will not stop until every man, every woman, every child, and every American can live without fear of gun violence. And to that I say, no more.
Sad. He has nothing to say because there really isn't anything to say, you guys. And he's a coward. He can't say one word because he can't defend his stand. I have a concealed carry permit. I carry a gun for protection for myself, and you are using your lobby and the money behind it and the kids to try to take away my Second Amendment rights.
This is like the QAnon mom version of, remember when Primetime Alex Stein went up to AOC and was like, hey, big booty Latina, hey, big booty Latina. Like the QAnon mom version of that same type of thing. Aphrodite said Chalk wants me to die in a plane crash. I think your man might die mid-flight, bro. He looked like he was pretty old. I think he was up there, man. No, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, man. Good for you, Aphrodite. I'm glad you look a lot healthier. I'm glad you're not I'll just leave it at that. You look a lot healthier than you were. Marjorie Taylor Greene, before anyone thinks I'm sucking her dick, and since we're talking about crisis actors. So a crisis actor would be somebody groomed to be on the world stage for a long time. Or even a short time, just like a fake witness to something that happened, like the Harley guy. He had the official story that was still stands today from the government. That guy just saw it on the scene, and he just knew fire was too intense, and that's what happened. Marjorie Taylor Greene was on American Idol under a different name. Now they'll tell you this is not her, but you can judge for yourself. Me personally, I'm 100% convinced this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Face don't lie.
Good. Okay, what do you do?
I'm in marketing for cheese. I sell provolone and mozzarella.
If you had to recommend a cheese for Randy to put on his hamburger,
shout out Provo.
What would you suggest?
Lazati.
Okay, what are you going to sing?
I'm going to sing Knockin' the Boots.
That's 100% Marjorie Taylor Greene. You just find somebody like this, whether or not that name they showed there, Sarah Sugarman or whatever it was, that doesn't even have to be her real name. This is just an asset that they put out there. This could be like a trial, just like David Hogg had the trial on the beach viral video. Bring them out, get them out there, get them in front of the camera, and they're eager for fame and attention. These are the people that will do anything for this. Even play a QAnon mom.
By H-Town?
Verse and a chorus, please.
Oh, come on, turn the lights down and let me get on it. When I do just me and you, it'll be so right, yeah.
Yeah, they'll debunk it and say it's not. And it's definitely her. Stephanie Sugarman is the name. She says she's from California. says, thanks to the internet, a woman in California who sort of looks like MTG is reliving the trauma of her 15-year-old. Okay, the age matches up exactly. 100% identical face. You don't know she's from California. You don't know that's even her name. She just says a name and a location she's from. That's where she's billed from. And if we're looking at the lens of politics through WWE wrestling, just like when these wrestler guys start on the independent circuit, they have a different name. Then when they get called up to WWE, WWE wants control of the name and everything for merchandising, and they give them a brand new name and a brand new persona, a brand new gimmick. The exact same thing. And we got Jeffrey Epstein in the house. Shout out to Jeffrey Epstein. It says sugar equals 33. Hold on, I gotta ask the chat. We're gonna do a poll. How do I do the poll here? Hold on. Marjorie Taylor Greene or not Marjorie Taylor Greene? Start that poll. See what you guys think. I mean, I guess it's possible. I would say like 5% chance that it's not her, in my opinion. But when you factor in all the crisis actor, actor-based reality, everything, I mean, it fits right in like a glove. It's not just like cherry picking something. Not forcing a square peg in a round hole. It's literally her. Looks like her. Looks identical, 100% identical. Let's get another, since we got the crisis actor logo up there. Do you guys not know what that is? Tommy said that's like I didn't know that's an up north thing. The crystal sugar, that's what that logo is based on. Is that only like in the north? Southerners might not know what that is. I don't remember if I've seen that since I've been down here or not. I don't really buy sugar. This is the most classic crisis actor here, Harley Guy. A guy that just so happens to be there and then has the exact story of what happens at 9/11 just by looking at it with his eyes. And when you watch it, it's interesting. You can't see my cursor. I got to fix that. But watch the black guy behind him. Very interesting. The black guy is like definitely some kind of handler or something. And then it comes out later. This guy is Mark Walsh. He's a commentator or he works for Fox. I don't think he's a commentator. He works for Fox. So just some hand that works for them. And then they say, here, throw on this Harley shirt so you look like an average dude. And then say this.
Humbling down. We want to bring in Mark Walsh, who's a freelancer for Fox. You live just a few blocks away and witnessed.
Dude, I live on the 43rd floor of a building which is 5 blocks from the World Trade Center itself. I witnessed the entire thing from beginning to end.
People talk about how it looked like a movie. I know when I came walking down here early this morning and saw both towers on fire and people on every street corner, it was like a movie. But you watched the planes hit the towers.
I was watching with my roommate. It was approximately several minutes after the first plane had hit. I saw this plane come out of nowhere and just ream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side. And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
Obviously, there were.
That's gonna be Aphrodite next. her old man, he's gonna have a heart attack while he's flying the plane and fly into the Golden Gate Bridge or something.
A lot of people inside the buildings at the time.
Two guys from the 7th precinct, the 1st precinct, the fire department right here, the 7th truck, those guys are all right there at ground zero when those things went down. And God...
Baby carriages, that sort of thing.
Pushed everybody back, and it was a good 15 minutes before the second tower finally collapsed. Yeah. And it was just overwhelming, and by that point, it was just insane.
Well...
Mostly due to structural failure because the fire is just too intense. Classic, bro. Another classic crisis actor, in my opinion, is hilarious, bro. With this one, George Floyd's essay kept by his 2nd grade teacher. Do you guys remember this? I still got more on David Hogg. We got to get back to. There's some big truth drops, big truth bombs on him. I got the crisis actor logo up. I feel like got to drop a few of these. Oh, damn, this one's too hot, bro. They took it down. Try this one.
She taught George Floyd when he was in 2nd grade. He was called Perry back then.
His name is George Perry Floyd, and he went by Perry in elementary school.
Waynell Sexton was Floyd's teacher in
1981.
She's held on to hundreds. Was Floyd
school.
Waynell Sexton was Floyd's teacher in
Waynell Sexton.
1981. She's held on to hundreds of her students' work, binding them in books. George Floyd wrote this when he was 8 years old.
When I grow up, I want to be a Supreme Court judge. When people say, Your Honor, he did rob the bank, I will say, BC.
I will say, I can't breathe. So this lady kept George Floyd's 2nd grade work for all these years.
This is his artwork. And
press X for doubt, bro. Waynell Sexton. What part of me wonders if this lady, what if she's just like, what if she's not crisis actor? What if she's just like woke as fuck, dude? Like, I don't mean woke like the left liberal. What if she's just like, just base as fuck, and she's just like, I'm gonna call these motherfuckers and say I was his teacher. She's just a troll. And then she's like, I'm just gonna say my name is Waynell Sexton. See if they run with it. It's like Elon's big balls.
His picture of him as a Supreme Court judge. I just love the line that says, I'll beat my hammer on the desk, then everybody will be quiet.
When did you realize the little boy that you taught was this national figure?
When my student texted me and said, Miss Sexton, that's Perry, and he was in our classroom.
Sexton says the little boy she taught in 2nd grade may not have grown up to be a Supreme Court justice, but in the manner of his death, his teacher believes he will have historic consequences on the country in ways that no one could have predicted.
Oh, yeah, Tommy's got another good one here in the chat. That wasn't his name, Wayne Cleaver, the Sandy Hook mortician. His name was Dr. Carver. They have crazy names like that. The name kind of gives it away. That's called an aptronym when you have a name like that coincides with your job. This was the Sandy Hook guy right here. Dr. Carver, dude. Get out of here. The autopsy guy.
I've been at this for a third of a century. And it's my sensibilities may not be the average man, but this probably is the worst I have seen, or the worst that I know of any of my colleagues having seen.
Dr. Carver, he died. There was another guy, I can't remember, maybe some of you remember, but he was on the national stage for a similar type job, and it looked exactly like this guy. I really can't remember off the top of my head right now. But it looked literally just like this dude. Involved in some other high-profile case. But I mean, you guys get it. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. Crisis Actors is actually really old hat at this point. Let me start closing my links down here so I can use. I have hundreds of links up here. This is him saying it's a drill. This is him now.
You guys ready to fight? It's been a long day, but guess what? We have a long road ahead. Let's go and kick some ass. Let's go win our young people back, and let's stop sending just our thoughts and prayers to address gun violence and do something. Are you ready to do that?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Who's ready to take the fight to the Republicans and win this thing?
Yeah, I don't think that just going younger is what DNC needs. I think they need a complete overhaul. If someone came to me and said, hey, bro, here's some money. Can you give us some ideas? Number one, you got to look at what the Democrats are standing for. It's basically like there's no morality in there at all. It's actually negative morality. And they're fighting for like transgenders, blacks, any kind of like minority, handicap type things. They're just going all in on these super small minority percentages, in which those people are deserving of rights and everything like that, but kind of alienate your whole base when it's hyper focused on like a super small 2% of the population or 13% or whatever it is. And they're too focused on the race. And I would say somehow, some way that the Democrats need to get back into like the working class unions and try to somehow get money in people's pockets. There needs to be something tangible for people to feel, to have some type of connection with them. Because otherwise now they're just like completely just getting eaten up, basically. That's his little Lifeguard viral video. Okay, here's the other major bombshell that was what was causing people to question David Hogg when he first came out was his father worked for the FBI. He was a lifer, and he from the Navy. So he was a Navy FBI agent, David Hogg's dad. And there was, his dad's name was Kevin Hogg. So then there was a LinkedIn of a guy named Kevin Hogg that worked for this thing that was called Cubic Simulation Systems, right in Pompano Beach, right next to where they live. But now the official fiction is that it's just a different Kevin Hogg. They just so happen to have the same name, and they live in the same area. It says that the CSS, that's that Cubic Simulation Systems branch in Pompano Beach, which produces the shooter training system that uses the same laser-aimed rifle used by the, quote, Full Metal Gear gunman, as witnessed by a teacher quoted in the Fort Lauderdale Sun-Sentinel. And they have actually a video of what these guys do. Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. This is it. This is a 1-minute video. I'm going to play this and try to run and piss. I got to piss so bad. So if it ends and I'm not back, just wait a second. So this is the simulation, battle simulation that this Cubic Simulations runs for. And remember, David Hogg said that he thought it was a drill.
All right, guys, stack up on the time. Let's go. His balls. Down. Go, mate.
Oh, shit.
Boys. Come on. You're doing well. Ready? Cover it, fire. Don't get lazy. Recheck it. All right, guys, make sure you have all your controls.
Ooh. All right, I'm back right on time. So, Truth Hurts says, Drew, you gotta get one of those things where you piss in your pants and no breaks. Oh, I'll just straight piss my pants, bro. 10 super chats, I'll piss my pants live on the stream. I'll even stand up to show you guys. But yeah, pretty sus that even let's say the dad is not even involved with this thing at all. The dad is military, Navy, and lifetime of the FBI, and then it's easy to post hog it now and see where David Hogg's career has gone based on where it started from. It's a lot easier for people to see it now, where people in the very beginning, when maybe they were like still emotionally invested in that Parkland story, they might be rejecting that information because they're still emotionally connected to it and they're not willing to think about it logically. But But now when you see the trajectory it's went on and see the totality of everything else, I think it makes it a lot more clear. So you have his viral video. He says he thought it was a drill. His dad worked for this place that did live active simulations like this. He's interviewing people in the damn closet while it's happening, supposedly. He says he was at home. There's all kinds of different stories. Stanley Kubrick, EBT says. That was the dad. So that was the big part of it. All these links here. That's the Indiana one. This was the, let me just look at the wiki, make sure I didn't forget anything about that. The shooter got a full lifetime without parole. He was eligible for the death sentence. They needed a unanimous jury to give the death sentence in Florida. And because of it wasn't unanimous, he got a lifetime without parole, but they've since changed that law, I believe, because of this case in particularly. As the shooting unfolded, Code Red was still not called due to the confusion among school employees over who had authority to do so. An armed school resource officer. Okay, so maybe it wasn't an active cop. No, yeah, BCSO deputy. Broward County Sheriff's Office deputy Scott Peterson outside the building. Now, wasn't that like one of those Lacey Peterson? Wasn't her husband named Scott Peterson? This guy looks different, though, than that. I think it's the same name, though. And he went to trial, the sheriff guy, because he was supposed to be in there and handling it. Just make sure I didn't forget, like, a major part of this. Yeah, they brought this. Trump, in 2018, directed Justice Department to issue regulations to ban bump stocks, and then shortly after this was, I believe, the Vegas shooting. Was it after or before? I think it was just after this Vegas shooting. The school building itself that this was part of was demolished to the ground. They were going to do it immediately after the shooting, and they got a hold on it until after the trial because it was part of the evidence. And they have since actually bulldozed the site. They bulldozed the site on Donald Trump's birthday, 6/14, National or World Flag Day. And yeah, this is why I said, like, this brought crisis actors into the mainstream. This guy's like a bad on purpose. Conspiracy theories, disinformation, and harassment. They said he was a crisis actor. One such claim was made by the district secretary for Republican State Representative Sean Harris. He stated that it was a hoax, basically. He was fired. Former Republican Congressman and CNN contributor Jack Kingston suggested, this guy here, he suggested student demonstrators were paid by Soros or were members of Antifa. A video with a description espousing a conspiracy theory that student David Hogg was a crisis actor reached the top. They say Russian bots brought this up to the top of Twitter and brought those disinformation theories to the forefront. Now, I remember there was one that said he doesn't even go to this school. If I can find that real quick. That he's 25 years old. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, right here.
Like, he's not even supposed to be in our school. He's like 25 and he's from California, even though he's my debate partner. What the hell? Shocking. Really? Like, he's not even supposed to be on.
No, it could just be totally bullshit. Just kids fucking around. You can't really use that as truth, but just another. Me, that would just be more like muddying the waters type shit. Here he is, 24 years old now. Because every Republican considering a run for federal office is rejoicing right now. Almost like bad on purpose for the Democrats to try to maybe put the final nail in the coffin for them. Maybe they'll come out with some different third party that'll take over. As Democrats crash and burn, everything's the Democrats' fault, according to the Republicans. That's Adam Lanza, Sandy Hook gunman. think the idea that he's Hogg is not that Hogg went in and did anything. The idea would be nothing happened, and Hogg was kind of the template, the basis for a digital version of a shooter. I don't think they're actually. Maybe some people are making the claim that it happened and he's the one that did it, but I think the more nuanced take would be this is a digital composite of a person based on David Hogg.
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA.
Sus, bro. And this is a major story, actually, all throughout when you read political articles and stuff, is the lack of the Democrats' awareness of what's happening. This is the new DNC chair guy, this guy here. There was another video I couldn't find, man. I watched it just the other day. It's like some younger Mexican guy. I don't know what he is relation to this guy, but he was one of the like heads of the DNC now. I don't really remember what his name was though. He was talking about strategies to kind of reinvent them. I wasn't able to find it. So that was the lady with the red hair here. That was Joe Biden's press secretary, and now she works for CNN. This lady right here, Jen Psaki. And you have even like long-term Democrats. Hold on. The Diddycrats. Here it is. Yeah, this one I wanted to show. Where, like Jon Stewart, laughing in her face at her ideals of like what's going wrong within the party. My wife and I have this saying. We say when people get caught, like they get like stuck in a loop with something and they're not able to defend their position anymore. What they do is they deny it. I can't even remember what it is now. They double down, deflect, and deny. That's what it is. First they'll double down, then they deflect all the questions and anything like that, and they just completely deny that there's a problem. The double down, deflect, deny. I think that's the status that Democrats are in right now, rather than really addressing what's happening. This is the guy I wanted to show. Just one of the most hardcore like Democrat mouthpieces. Jon Stewart can't even believe that they're not willing to like look in the mirror and see what's wrong with the party, if any of it's real.
Hot water for every single, though they are not able to interpret reality properly, which is exactly why Jon Stewart shreds every single one of them, especially Maddow and his guest Jen Psaki here.
In 4 hours of Joe Scarborough.
Joe Scarborough, who killed his intern, don't forget that.
Shouldn't be allowed in this country. and then like Rachel Maddow, like it's schizophrenic at times. Like, yeah, I do think there should be some semblance of an idea that, look, they're kicking progressive ass right now. And if progressives don't organize their media, their think tanks and all that, it's going to continue to happen. It's chaos.
Well, I will say, broadly speaking, what I'm not going to say Democrats, I'm going to say people on the left do not do that the right does very well is support within the system each other. I'm serious. Like, and what I mean by this is this, right?
Yeah.
Theo just laughs in her face, basically.
Theo Vaughn appears on Joe Rogan's show, right? He promotes what Joe Rogan's doing. But they all promote all of the things each other are doing.
And Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan are like right-wing extremists, according to Democrats.
And what the elected officials, I guess, are doing too. And the left is a little bit more kind of discombobulated in terms of supporting the different entities on the left. There is not a left ecosystem that matches the right ecosystem.
But Ailes didn't do that either. It was the principle, the ideological principles, not the party. He and Murdoch the same way. They're promoting an ideological worldview, right? That they believe is correct. And Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan, I think.
I think that's what it comes down to. When you get out of high school or college, and if you have some democratic worldview, you will not be able to debate against your coworker or any just random even some hillbilly type, common sense type person. It all breaks down very easily, really based on nonsense, a foundation of sand.
I think are different animals than any of this. Like, I wouldn't say I don't think they're part of any machine.
Don't you think they're but they are still in the right wing ecosystem? Wouldn't you agree?
No, I would think they're in. No, I would consider them in a more probably libertarian comedic complex.
Yeah, when I think of Theo Von and Joe Rogan, I don't think of hardcore right wing. Like, the shit's just so far off the rails for the left, they don't realize they've lost all these people that might have been with them. It's just completely fucking trans kids and all this other crazy issues, and no one can relate to it anymore. I don't think any regular person with common sense. Even someone that doesn't follow politics at all, like, they might have skewed to the left or anything, and you can just see how fucking far off the rails it is. They'll abandon that.
More along the lines of, and if you watch or listen to their shows, a lot of times it's just pure goofing off.
Has nothing to do with politics, and oftentimes, but
almost entirely.
But they are supportive of the Trump enterprise, is what I mean. So maybe I'm loosely putting them in that category.
And number one, I think Trump's funny, dude. People gotta understand that Trump's motherfucking timing is impeccable. You have a square like David Hogg. It's never gonna connect to the audience. Trump is a master of timing. He's a master of generating the headline and everything like that. Spaldo threw down $4.99. I appreciate you, brother. He says, "This is so my wife can yell at me when her phone buzzes." Transaction. Shout out to Spaldo and to your generous wife. Sure, she's sure you don't deserve her, right? That's how it usually is. That's usually the case. I appreciate that, though. 76% of you said that was Marjorie Taylor Greene. I forgot to end the poll. But even some of the staunchest Democrats here are out here saying, what the hell's happening? They don't have really any sufficient worldview. Even like a guy like Destiny, who comes from the left, he's a decent debater. I think he could debate either side of the coin. And he has a hard time engaging with some of these other people, even with some of the best thought arguments that can come out of the left. I want to see what this says. 6 minutes. I don't think I want to watch this whole thing. Oh, maybe this is the one I saw. Yeah, this is the one, actually, because this was the guy I saw. I didn't recognize earlier because it was only showing this guy.
The proposed continuing resolution may be falling apart. What do you think this means right now?
I think we're beginning to see the chaos and billionaire corruption of the Trump era. I mean, Trump tried to campaign talking about how he was going to...
Yeah, that's right. He's a Democrat out of Austin, this guy here.
...help working people and deal with corruption. And I knew that pretty immediately he was going to betray his own message and his own voters. So essentially, for folks who haven't heard...
If I was a Democrat, I would go after Trump and say, well, he's completely ran on America first. And immediately when he got in here, the first thing he's doing is nation building. He said he wasn't going to do Agenda 2025 or whatever, Project 2025, and almost all those things that are listed on that thing is he's doing, and he's enlisting those people from that in his thing. I would attack him at that if it was me. But I see here later in the thing, I'll play his clip. It says authenticity. This is where Democrats lack the most, I believe. They say they don't really have anyone that can connect with the audience at an authentic level. Unlike Donald Trump, who's a real estate magnate billionaire that somehow can connect to a farmer from Iowa.
Are you, Congressman, if I can interrupt really quickly, are you saying that Democrats should work on their authenticity?
I think the Democratic brand has been damaged. In the past, people said that the number one thing they associated positively with the Democratic Party was that we are the party of working people. And that holds up in our data from the post-World War II era all up until...
And then it slowly now is the party of extreme fringe minority groups.
Close to around 2010, 2012. And that's when we started losing that part of our brand. And we've got to get back to that, because voters can disagree on a variety of cultural and social issues. I mean, we've got that in my own family. I'm sure you've got that in your own neighborhood around your Christmas or Thanksgiving table. But back in the day, the way Democrats held the coalition together was to say, you might agree on this social issue or disagree on that one, but we're all united behind a party that's willing to stand up to the powerful in support of working people. I saw this when I was a labor organizer before I was an elected official.
It's like the opposite now. They want to support unemployment and government benefits.
I used to organize on construction sites where you had immigrant Spanish-speaking workers on the same construction site as a fifth-generation Texan. We were bringing people together across race, across culture, across ideology, but everybody was fighting for a raise. And if
Yo, it said I dropped out for a second. Now it says I'm back, so hopefully I'm back. I don't know if it caught what the last thing I said was. That guy, what's his name? Greg Caesar. He's the only guy I've seen that has a seems to have a grasp, and he's being honestly assessing what's happening and trying at least to formulate a plan of how to move forward. All these other people are just kind of doubling down, deflecting, and denying. Democrats are done. Let's see. I think I'm pretty much through all this stuff. One more guy I was going to look at is here. Bill Maher, another hardcore Democrat for years. He's heavily throwing flaming arrows at the Democrats about their inability to process what's happened and how to rebrand. Not sure if I just pulled this up. I don't have any particular clip up here. Let me see.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. They live here, and they actually see women and people of color, and it doesn't look like some patriarchal racist nightmare. Do problems remain pertaining to racism and sexism? Of course. But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. The votes are in. They don't want your pity. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
One of the funny ones I saw, he was talking about Trump. Basically, he said Democrats lost a crazy contest to a crazy person. They tried to out-crazy a crazy person. Yeah, the Democrats blew the 2024 election with woke issues, he says. This is their biggest, one of their biggest
lifetime
supporter.
Become like a royal family that, because of so much incest, has unfortunately had children who are retarded. And the same thing can happen to ideas if they are also conceived in an atmosphere of intellectual incest. Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with.
Just wanted to show a couple of those clips to show that it's heavily imploding. Probably all I wanted to show. I will end the stream here with, I'll just tell the story real quick of my neighbor. I know the last stream I did by myself, I talked about the confrontation I had with my neighbor. And we had another blow up again after that. And I talked about it on EBT's stream, but I don't know how many people saw that. He had like 5 streams in a row. So we had the first blow up that I talked about on my last solo stream. Crosshat says that dude's a fruit. I'll pull them up in case I'll just play it in the background while it's hold on a second. Give me a second in case you. So if you missed it, go back to my most previous Drew World Order Live and go to the end. I like to just kind of vent and talk about it and talk about my life. I don't really hold anything back from you guys. But we got into it over his. I'm just gonna play his stream, and I'm gonna speed it up while I'm talking, so it's just playing in the background. He dresses his 7-year-old son in a damn dress, and he says his son came out last year. So when he was 6, prepubescent boy, talking to him about all this stuff. So this is the neighbor. This guy literally lives directly across the street from me, and his kids come over and play with my kids, and his kids are sweet, man, for real. And the kids are innocent in this. And we had the blow up I talked about last week. Well, then he stayed inside with his kids for a few days. They're usually outside, and when we're outside, the kids will come over and play with my kids. His son's the age of my daughter over here, and son's a little weird, but he ain't no weirder than any other 7-year-old boy, I don't think. Kid's innocent. Anyway, so after that first blowout, he stayed inside, and then this dude comes over, and he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to talk to you." And I went up to him, and I gave him 5 and did like a bro hug. I was like, "Hey, bro, I apologize for calling you a child predator. Like, you know, I really that's kind of fucked up." And he was like, started the spiel that he'd obviously like prepared, and he like, it was like this long speech, like, and it started good, and it was like, you know, we have political differences, so I think he thinks I'm a Trump tard. And then he was like, you know, I don't want to let these differences stop the kids from being able to play. And then he gets into, you know, you called me this name, I called him a child predator. I shouldn't laugh, but he's like, you called me this, people get beat up for that, people get raped for that in jail, and you were yelling it in front of the neighborhood, because once he went off on me, I was like, bye child predator, bye child predator, I was yelling that. And I was like, yeah, that's fair, bro, like I can't take it back, bro, so all I can do is apologize and not do it again, is what I said to him, and that's a fair point. And it's, like I said, it started well, and then it slowly started kind of veering into like off the rails, in my opinion. And then it got into like, well, where it was clearly going was, you are going to accept my child in a dress at your house. I guess I should have let him finish, but I could tell, maybe there's a small chance that I'm wrong, but I could tell he was going to that you're going to accept this kid over here in your house in a dress or something. And so I was kind of shut him down. Like, I'm not gonna stand for this shit, right? Like, send the kid to school in a dress. Like, that's too far in my opinion. Like, you send him to my house, you know he's not gonna get hurt, but you send him to school, and who knows what happens. And that's what I said to him. I was like, look, dude, basically, like, you're sending this kid to school. When you send him in a dress to school, you're making him like look like a cupcake for like any child predator that works there. And I was like, child predators are drawn to those types of jobs, like school teachers or counselors or anything like that. And he went, what? He was like, I was a school teacher. And then I hit him with this. And then that's what set him off. I was just like, and then I was like, look, dude, I said I wouldn't call you a child predator, but I mean, clearly this child's getting groomed. I straight up told him, what's up? Mark T with the $20. I appreciate you, brother. He says, glad to see you back on live more. Yeah, I'm going to go at least once a week. But a couple days late here because I had 5 days off and I needed like 2 days of sleep. I've worked so many days in a row. But I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. So yeah, I told him basically I can't say you're a child predator, but I can. It's pretty clear that you're grooming the kid. And he's like, what? No. He's like, I'm not grooming the kid. He's just yelling again. He starts yelling. He's like, I'm not. It's his own choice that he wants to wear the dress. So even though the dude does this on a stream and puts on makeup and wears all his wife's clothes or whoever's clothes this is, like, I'm the boy all on his own for no reason at all just decided he wanted to wear a dress one day, and the dad's just okay with it. And I tried to tell the dad, I was like, yo, if the boy wants to eat vanilla ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're not going to let him do that, right? And he's like, no, I would never do anything that hurts him. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, this is emotionally damaging him, right? Like, he's a boy, and and it got pretty hot, like, real quick, so I don't remember. There was actually a lot said, and I don't remember exactly what he was said. Try to remember to the best I can. He was just basically like, this is it. Something, and he grabs the kid, and he's like, let's go home. Because he couldn't handle, like, being questioned. And he grabs his son and starts walking across the street where he lives, completely leaving his 2-year-old daughter in the garage. He's, like, stomping off with the kid. And I was like, yo, hold the fuck up, bro. I like, stepped up on him. I was like, hold the fuck up, dog. I thought you wanted to, like, settle this shit and talk like a man, and now you're running off and shit. And he's like, yeah, you know, you're a bigot or something like that. I don't remember exact words, but that was kind of the gist of it. You know, you're a bigot, this and that. And I was like, look, dude. I escaped Tim Wall's transgender army up in Minnesota. Like, I'm not trying to be reliving that. I saw the damage that causes. And he was like, oh, so you don't want to see trans people be successful or something like that. I was like, what, dude? I was like, I don't even care. Like, I wish people success. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. I just don't want to be around it. It's fucking insane, bro. It's like a delusion that you're forcing me to partake in. And then I told him something like, I was like, something along the line. I was like, look, dude, like, obviously what you do is your own thing. But I was like, if it was me, I would just tell you, bro, this is the wrong saloon for that shit. You're in Florida, bro. Like, he was like, oh, you think I want to live here? You want to think I want to live here next to your dumb ass or some shit like that. And I was just like, yo, whatever, dude. And then the kid is like on his hip. The kid wasn't crying this time, so that he must have like kind of prepped the kid that this was gonna go down. I don't think he really wanted to talk to me. I think he just wanted to yell. And he was shaking again hard, and the kid was going like this to me. And I told the dad, I was like, see what he's doing now? I was like, that's what you're doing to me, but you're disguising it as intellectualism. And the dad was like yelling and shit. And then I said something like, I was like, bro, you just can't be cross-examined on your ideas. And you just instantly start melting down. And he's like, no, you can't be cross-examined in your ideas. And I was like, bro, I do this shit all the time. Like, I debate people online. And he goes, oh, wowie, big internet debooter. And I was like, bro, did you just wowie me? Nah, bro, I wowie you, motherfucker. You just wowied me out of nowhere. I thought I was talking to Toy Boy Earth for a second or something. I was like, hell no, this dude just wowied me. Oh, before it all hit the fan, before it even went south, I was trying to be real gentle and kind of say the child grooming thing, but gently, because I was trying to make this work, and I was maybe I was stammering my words a little bit to try to find the right words, and I was kind of like, whatever, and he was just like, you're not even saying nothing. I don't think he knows. Couldn't find the word salad right away, but he was like, you're just saying buzzwords. You're just saying words, buzzwords. You're not saying anything. And I was like, okay, motherfucker. That's kind of when I was like, okay, motherfucker, like, you want to have a fucking battle of words? Let's fucking go. Are those bruises on his cheek? No, it's like makeup, I think. I'm not sure, really. I think it's some kind of makeup. And he plays these, like, little kids' games and shit. It's weird as fuck, bro. And I said something to him, bro. I wish I could remember because it was pretty hot, and I was staying pretty calm, and he was like shaking and yelling. I might have raised my voice a little bit and stuff, but he said something about. I mentioned something about the Bible, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's where I'm gonna get my advice about gender. Is a book written 6,000 years ago." like some book written 20 years ago by a Jew is way better or something. And basically, I was just trying to explain like the gender roles and everything. You know, like what's crazy is this motherfucker was like a biology teacher. When you go to his Twitch. He was a fucking biology teacher. How are you a biology teacher and talking about all this genders and shit like that? Where's this little like about? Here it is. Oh wait. So that's his intro up there on the top, right? So his intro is just like my intro. It says right here, ex-biology teacher, current stay-at-home dad. offering education, entertainment, not 100% guaranteed, and corny dad jokes, 10,000% guaranteed. So rules and guidelines, racism, homophobia, anti-trans, and all other forms of hate speech will result in a ban. Don't be an asshole. Aside from the above, making other viewers or myself uncomfortable can also lead to a ban. So uncomfortable is like a subjective term. You can't make him or anybody uncomfortable for any reason, but he can bring his kid into your home and make you uncomfortable, and that's fine. It's a total hypocrite. That's why I was trying to question his worldview and kind of get down to some of the stuff. And I even invited him on the stream, bro, in there. And once he wowed me, and I was like, bro, anytime you want to come on the stream, I was like, I can get to the bottom of your worldview real quick and prove you don't even believe in your own worldview yourself. So I don't want to like reveal all my debate tactics in case he does watch this, because I tagged him and shit, but I don't think he even believes the bullshit he believes himself. That's another thing I said to him is the kid wants to be called they, them. So when it hit the fan, the first argument we had, he was like, you say it to him, he's this, and everything was him. And then the mom came over and said, he's never playing over here again. Now, the second time we had this confrontation, he was like, oh, they. And that's why I said to him, I was like, bro, see, that's why I have a problem with that they shit, is because it's not even real. Because when shit hits the fan, you abandon that shit real quick. And he was like, well, I'm like, I wish I could remember the word. He said something like, I'm ascended. It wasn't the word ascended, though, but it was something kind of similar to that. And he was like, I'm this, whatever the word was. He's like, and I'm trying to correct that now or whatever. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, that, you know what I'm saying? Like in a real world scenario where it hits the fan, this shit doesn't exist. It's a first world problem. Like, it doesn't exist when you don't have all day to think about this shit and read books on gender and all this shit. If you're working, if you're digging trenches and all this shit, you ain't gonna be coming up with these fucking whack ideas. And I don't know, but I wish I could remember more of what was said. But it's basically just him yelling and spurging, and then I was trying to I don't know why, I was trying to kind of keep the peace a little bit. I should have just fucked him up, like not physically, but I should have went a little harder, I feel like, because I was kind of hoping the kid could still come over and play. I'm obviously there watching and making sure no weird shit's going on. But the kids like to play with them and shit. But my whole shit was, you're not coming over. Your kid's not coming over in a dress, basically. And I'm not gonna move an inch on that. That's why I kind of interrupted him when I felt like his little spiel was going into that. I'm pretty sure that's where it was going. I could remember some more of the shit that he said. It's like, it's completely insane. But this is the fucking dude right here, bro. This is the guy I'm fucking arguing with. You don't even have to, like, I don't know, let me just play it a little bit.
Through mentally was the lower bits, something that isn't the most important part of a relationship, but having no experience dating or otherwise, it's a bit.
He's reading a comment, but I don't even know what kind of game this shit is, bro.
More of a bigger deal in your head. I think that's fair. Like, I think as long as the person is, like, I don't even know. You know, I don't really know how to say that. I'm trying to think of a way to put it tactfully. Like, I think it just takes some getting used to, because we've grown up in like a society of like anti-trans rhetoric. So you would need time to
and not validating other people's delusion and not participating in other people's delusion is anti-trans rhetoric.
Not necessarily, I guess, overcome and like rewrite that part of your coding. And it's just.
Builder Lee says, bro, don't feel no way about believing in Jesus and teaching your children the real word and not some mixed up devil shit. Yeah, his shit's a lie straight from the pit of hell. I don't feel bad. I guess just, if anything, I feel bad for his kids. I mean, my kids can play with themselves. There's three of them. You know, there's even a baby. There's three older children kind of in the house that play all day. His kids are 7 and 2. Like the 7-year-old likes to come over. The 2-year-old will come over here and there. But it's sad that I think that's another thing he said that I wanted to mention is he said, like, he's like, you're trying to, don't want to like put. That's why I invited him on stream, is because I don't want to put words in his mouth, and I hate that I can't really remember it just because it got real hot and heated. Kind of hard to remember. I was kind of mad, but I was also trying to like figure out what he's saying so I could say something back. He said something like, "You're reducing this boy to nothing more than a dress." He said something along those lines to me. And I was like, "No, motherfucker, you're making the boy a dress." I was like, "To you, the dress is more important than the boy coming over to play. Like, don't say I'm fucking reducing the boy to a dress."
Just like, yeah, okay, people have said it's like this, but it's like, it's not as big of a deal as, you know, as people say it is.
Yeah. Thank you, Provo. He says, dude is transitioning and wants his son to transition with him. Bro, it's pretty obvious to anybody looking at this from the outside. I don't think he sees it himself, but he has giant problems with masculinity. He's definitely gay, maybe like maybe autistic or something, and he wants to do this and transition, but he's using his son as like cannon fodder and putting him out there. And that's what I said last time, is he sent the son to the door while he hid around the corner. The son is like cannon fodder to him, and he's trying to like experience this through his son because he's too pussy to do it himself or something. Why don't, if you're watching this dude, teach, that's what they call him in the stream, teach. Hey, teach, why don't you put on a dress and go to a fucking store? You obviously want to. Nobody gives a shit. Here's the thing, is nobody gives a shit if you do that. It's just once you start bringing it into the kids and talking to a prepubescent, I can never say that word, prepubescent boy about it. Like, he's not even like 10. There's appropriate ways to talk to younger children about this. He's not even 10 or like 13. Like, you're saying he came out at 6 years old. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And you're saying it's all his own idea. He didn't see it anywhere. He wasn't influenced by me. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, and like, I'm trying to be tact, but you know, I'm also a dumbass. So if I say anything that can be misconstrued as insensitive or what's another word? I'm like not obscene. Just like, yeah, insensitive or ignorant. That's the word I'm looking for. Please call me out and let me know how I can fix my.
I can tell he thinks he's really smart too because he went to university. Like, I would love to get this guy on and just chop down his worldview. It'd happen real quick. Fucking guarantee it.
Mindset, because I'm also like rewriting my societal code, as it were.
He told me some more personal shit too that I don't really want to. It was kind of personal when he was yelling at me, and I won't really get into it too much. But I mean, more or less saying that his dad wasn't down with it and was pretty firm about it. And I was like, yeah, no shit, because your dad probably saw you doing some fucking weird shit and knew this is what it would lead to. And now he's like, hey, fuck you, Dad. This is how I'm going to rebel against you, Dad. Oh, you don't want me to be a fairy? Well, now your grandson's a fairy or some shit. That's what it seems like to me anyway. That he's like turning the fucking kid as a way to rebel against his parents or God or both.
The way I see it, if you're a cis dude, you're used to dealing with the lower bits on your own. Oh, yeah, I was in high school. If it's attached to someone you find attractive, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, I agree. Like that, and that's definitely something. I'm gonna open up and be like, and say like, I don't care about penises. I think I could suck a penis. I think I could suck a penis. I don't find balls attractive. I think those are kind of, those don't do anything for me.
Hold on, we gotta go back here.
Suck a penis. I don't care about penises. I think I could suck a penis. I think I could suck a penis. I don't find balls attractive. I think those are kind of, those don't do anything for me.
Yo!
I think the biggest.
Yo, I'd suck a dick, but I ain't gonna touch your balls. What do you think? I'm some kind of queer? Fucking weirdo, bro. Is that really what he just said? Motherfucker, he said, show me your tip. Like, nah, motherfucker, I'm gonna show you just the brains, bro. That's it. Motherfucker said, I'll suck a dick, but I won't touch your balls. Are weird. What do you think, I'm a homo?
Thing that would hold me back is because the only kind of male body that I typically see or I have typically experienced in my life comes from porn. And typically male pornography is or the male porn actor is aggressive. I associate a penis with aggression.
But not balls though.
If I would have to like undo that negative stigma of
quit watching porn, you fucking coomer.
Attaching aggression to the penis, for me to like get down with it, I think.
How the fuck is this dude married to somebody? Yeah, clearly, bro, you have major fucking issues. And the kid didn't just wake up one day and say, I want to learn about gender. I want to wear a dress. Out of nowhere, for no reason at all. What the fuck? Sensei said, time to pack up and go back to Minnesota. No, this motherfucker can go to Minnesota. He'll fit right in, right next to the Somalians. Go ahead, bro. But that's where I'm at with that. So he's been inside the last few days. That was a couple days ago. I basically like he tried to run off without his own 2-year-old daughter. I think he realized it at the end of the driveway. So when I kind of stepped up to him and was talking to him, I don't know if he necessarily stopped because I was talking to him. I think he realized when he was all the way to the end of my driveway, he realized, shit, I forgot my 2-year-old daughter. That's what I think anyway. I don't know. Dorkington agrees. Balls are disturbing. Oh, man. I don't know what to really say. How is this dude a fucking school teacher? I think he was like a high school teacher. He would wilt with any fucking kid like giving him some pressure or like trying to like challenge him on something. I mean, why is he not a teacher? That's my question. There's this thing on Florida you can look up and see like if some teachers have some weird shit, and his name wasn't on that shit. But I guess I don't know if he was a teacher in Florida or not, and I don't know, like, I mean, who knows? There might have just been it's possible some weird shit could have went down and the schools can't prove anything, and the school's just like, hey, we need you to resign or we're gonna do a thorough investigation. I'm not saying that is what happened, but that's another possibility too. Fucking crazy. Yeah, this shit's crazy, bro. So I'm sure he needs a couple more days to like come up with some kind of like monologue that he's gonna come spit to me. But I straight up told him face to face, like, bro, you can come on my stream, and that's why I tagged him in my community post so he can like see my page and know I'm not fucking around. Like, bro, I do this streaming shit for real. I don't stream for fucking 3 people. I don't know what I got in the chat. I can't see it right now. Let me, if I can pull it up. I do this shit for real, and like my worldview and everything is really nuanced. Like, I'm not just on this fucking surface level bullshit. I'm pretty certain I could get him to break down in a debate. I don't mean like break down like emotionally or anything, which he might actually. Because anytime I challenged him, he just immediately started breaking down. I mean, like, get him to admit that he doesn't even really genuinely believe in the shit that he says that he believes in. See how many people I got up in here. I mean, like, break down, like, ooh, Drewception here. What do I got? 101 right now. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone that was in here. I think I'm going to shut down and just want to kind of get that off there. This is like my therapy session. I got to get this shit out. And I appreciate everyone that was here, man. I appreciate your time. I'll be going live again with EBT soon. I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night. We're going to do part 2 of that Elon Musk. I'm sorry, the Doge is the new Nasira Jashira. The part 2 of that is going to get into what's called the Illuminated Sons of the Protocols of the Golden Dawn. Going to get into that and compare it to what's happening on the world stage right now. Be like kind of the sequel to that last one we did. The last one we did I thought was really good. I'm actually going through and editing it right now, so I'll have maybe like a 20 to 30 minute clip of just nothing but the pure information, cut out all the bullshit. And then if we can get that second one on point too, I don't know if I'll add it to that first one or maybe do a second prepared video of that, because I think you need the prepared videos to really break through and get them shared and get the views and everything like that. So that's where I'm at with that. Golden Dawn OOE tomorrow, EBT. All right, I got 2 more days off. Well, really, tomorrow would be my last night to do it, because then I got to go back to work on Wednesday. The Tuesday night, I would not be available. So even if EBT doesn't go live tomorrow night with me, maybe I'll just pop in on the backup channel. Make sure you're subscribed to Get Chalked Up. Open up the panel and see who calls in. And otherwise, man, yeah, I appreciate everyone that was here, bro. We got through the Democrats falling apart, deflecting, denying, and doubling down, and hopefully they can figure something out. If anything's legitimate, otherwise maybe they'll just nuke that party completely and bring out a whole different thing, like a third party, which will eventually take over the Democratic Party. I think we'll see that here within the next 6 months. You'll see a lot more clarity, I think, on that. And yeah, make sure you smash the like. Make sure you do all those things. Subscribe. Give some love to this outro. TBE made the beat. Make sure you subscribe to the boy Toilet Bowl Earth. I appreciate your time, and ciao.
Make America great again.
Make America great again. Make America great again. Make America great again.
And yes, together, we will make America great again.